going on, Jerome's? So I know we say that we're going to stop talking about this whole Aaron Rodgers stuff because J.J. McCarthy, oh, thank heaven, we're on cloud nine. But it's really funny, right? And I know some people point out, well, you're just doing it for clicks. Whatever at this point. But so when we talk about the national media jabroni haircuts, we always do it with the eye of you want us on this wall, you need us on this wall, parsing out BS, right? Because still, a lot of people, the average sports fan, Joe 12-pack out there, they still get their opinions from national sports talk, national sports programming, and some of it's not good, right? And of course, we know with the Aaron Rodgers stuff, Kevin O'Connell saying that he reached out to the Vikings. Same thing, back up that basically Rodgers pitched the Vikings, hey, I'll mentor J.J. McCarthy. We'll try to win a Super Bowl. I haven't won a Super Bowl since 2010, but trust me, bro. Trust me. I'm the quarterback that the Jets paid for or took on $49 million dead cap to go away, right? And also, he was on McAfee yesterday talking about how the narratives are false and all that stuff. Baloney. By the way, Rodgers just seems lonely. He really does. Like on a human level, it's a really tough professional pivot going from the alleged MVP, even though you haven't been good since 2021, and then all of a sudden, no one wants you, right? And that's exactly what it is. Because, hey, if Aaron Rodgers is so hot to trot, how come every other team in the league just like, no, right? So it's ridiculous. But long story longer. Of course, the promulgators of these narratives has been The Athletic, basically saying, oh, it's 50-50, that Rodgers coming to Minnesota, or the Vikings have extreme interest, all that stuff. And Dianna Russini has been leading the charge here, gut feeling that Rodgers is going to be with the Vikings. Vikings are built to win a Super Bowl. Assuming J.J. McCarthy isn't ready, is Aaron Rodgers the answer? That game. And also, hey, Vikings fans need to come to grips. There's a world. There's a world that exists where blah, 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 blah. Whatever the reason is for why some Vikings fans don't want to see Aaron Rodgers, they have to come to grips. We have to come to grips because we, the national media jabroni haircuts, tell you how to think and feel, as opposed to, I don't know, using logic and rationalization. And, the Vikings' current regime drafted the future franchise quarterback, number 10 overall, highest drafted quarterback in team history, good to go, fully cleared health wise, and absorbed every single tidbit of this playbook and this offense. But this is a better option. Yeah, the guy who completely torpedoed the Jets, and that's saying a lot because it's the freaking Jets. No, but we need to come to grips with that. Also, I can't let this one go. Like, John Krasinski is amazing. Like, Timberwolves beat writer, long time respect there. Now, it's almost like the Athletic had to call in they had to call in the lefty reliever, where it's just like John Krasinski from the top rope. The reactions from some Vikings fans and fanboys to real credible reporting about this from Alec Diana and others just because they didn't like it was completely absurd. Okay, yeah, but what it is, I feel like again, Rodgers' agent using the Athletic like a sock puppet, putting their thumb down on the scale. It's exactly what happened, and it's okay. Where are all the other reports from other media outlets? Where's the Schefters and the Pelisseros? And we talked about this ad nauseum, right? But long story longer, Russini, you just can't let this go, right? And so you want us on this wall, you need us on this wall, because there's still a lot of people, especially after Rodgers' non-announcement announcement on McAfee yesterday, that are just like, oh, it could be Rodgers. It could be Rodgers, right? So, going to Easter with the wife's family, and there's a wide range of Vikings fans on that side, where you got the hardcore, definitely in on all the draft stuff, and some are just like, what happened with Darnold? Darnold come back? I don't know, but I'll guarantee you, dollars to donuts, like, a lot of them will still think that Rodgers is coming to the Vikings because of this nonsense that's being promulgated by the Athletic. But like I said, Russini, Aaron Rodgers insists he is not waiting on the Minnesota Vikings for anything. Lies. So retire, sign with the Steelers, a third option. Thursday certainly won't be the last time we'll talk about Rodgers' future. Shocker. And, they are using this to create content. I'm at it because, frankly, I'm using them to create content too. At least I'm a hypocrite that can acknowledge his hypocrisy, right? And then Russini followed this up. If Kevin O'Connell called Aaron Rodgers in the coming weeks and wanted to bring him in, I think my kid just farted. I think he just crop dusted me and then just left. Come on. If Kevin O'Connell called Aaron Rodgers in the coming weeks, I wanted to bring him in. I have a hard time believing Rodgers would pass. Oh, Rodgers hasn't passed since 2021. That was pretty good. But will it even get that far? Could Rodgers call it a career in the interim? Even if he retires. So Rodgers is a narcissistic sociopath. And this is coming from a narcissistic sociopath. So I feel like people in glass houses don't throw bricks, but we walk around naked. That's what we do. But with Rodgers, him retiring is the best thing for him, because every single time there's a quarterback who struggles, whether in camp or in the season, or gets injured in camp or in the season, it'll be like Rodgers to team X, Rodgers team Y, Rodgers to team Z. That's exactly what it's going to be on First Take and NFL Network and all this stuff, and The Athletic will be buzzing, so blah, 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 blah. So an attention whore like Aaron Rodgers, again, coming from another attention whore, and that's the best possible scenario, because if he just signed with the Steelers, they're like, oh yeah, old man signs with Steelers. Steelers will have Tomlin's first losing record. They'll go 7-10. Rodgers will retire to a cave and smoke crack in like November. That's what we're gonna do, right? But I don't like. Well, why is Russini go with this? Why would Kevin O'Connell ever call Aaron Rodgers besides, hey, basically call me a liar on McAfee? Thanks, bruh. We've known each other for 17, 18 years, bruh. Kevin O'Connell definitely drops a bruh, right? Southern California surfer dude. Anyways, but coming weeks, what would that be? Oh, yeah. All right, so off-season workouts, eventually getting into OTAs, mandatory minicamp in May and June. So basically, they're just looking for J.J. McCarthy to either, knock on all the wood, get alien abducted, get deported. I don't know. I feel like Jonathan James McCarthy from suburbs of Illinois probably won't be deported. But they're just basically looking for him to look bad, which it's really hard to look bad in OTAs. It just is. But 100%, Rodgers has like the full-on rear window binoculars and telescope going on. Just like, hey, I want to see what happens with the Vikings. Hopefully J.J. McCarthy gets hurt or sucks, and then I'm in. I'm in, baby. All right. And then he'll probably sign for $30 million because he completely is lying about the $10 million thing, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, like, I'm just venting on this because we used to live in a society, like we used to live in a proper country where like sports media wasn't about the hot takes. It was about reporting information. I remember when SportsCenter actually did highlights and stuff. It's just ridiculous. And every NFL insider, I'm not specifically throwing Russini under the bus. I'm talking about all of them. Every NFL insider is a brand. Everything is about getting clicks and eyeballs and hot takes and all this stuff. Just report the frickin' news, and we'll decide on our own. Actually, that could apply to regular news too. Anyways, your thoughts are thoughts. Dianna Russini going full Steelheart. And I'll never let you go. I'll never let you go. Anyways, let us know your thoughts, our thoughts. That was cathartic. That was very ranty. I like this one. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skull production value.